Martin David says, typical delusion Liverpool fan. If United sign Mbuemo, Gyökeres, and Cunha, we will be a force. Do you reckon though? Because all three are strikers, so you're still gonna leak goals like a pipe with a giant hole in it, right? That's the problem. Now, if you had said, delusional Liverpool fan, we're gonna sign a defender, and we're gonna sign a midfielder, and we're gonna sign a keeper who's not complete shite, because let's be honest, your keeper is complete shite. If you said that, I'd be like, okay, now you might be competitive, but you still got Onana in goal. Onana can't save anything. Onana can't even save money. He's got £0 in his bank account because he just drops it every single time. You need to sign a goalkeeper. That should be the priority. You need to sign a defender. You need to sign at least two midfielders because Portuguese wonder kid manager has just got two midfielders there, and Casemiro's too old to do that. Mainu's too slow to do that. Chucking three strikers in ain't gonna really improve things. It might get you up to 10th, but you really need to focus on multiple areas of the team, not just striker. I'm just being honest. Like, it ain't gonna make much difference. It ain't gonna make much difference if Onana, the clown, still keeps on kind of getting beat at his front post. It's gonna make absolutely no difference. Johnny says, "Poor Finland." Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Finland, to be fair. Lucas says, "Yeah, mate, United would be a force in the championship. They would, they would. I think they'd definitely be a force, and I think if they try really hard, I think they could potentially get back via the playoffs." Um, Johnny says, "I'm a bar." It's good to hear that you're a bar. That's very good to hear that you're a bar. We didn't leak goals last year. We just couldn't score. Um, well, they're two sides of the same coin in some ways. I think you did kind of let in a lot of goals. Um, and I think the fact additionally is Anana can't be relied on. Even your defenders, you can tell your defenders kind of don't have any confidence in him. That's something that needs to be, and I think you probably will rectify it. But I think that's something that they perhaps need to kind of rectify. Matty says, Man United are washed. They are washed, and I don't really understand like the logic and the delusion to say we're gonna sign three players and we're suddenly gonna be a force. You're not. You're really not. Like, Liverpool are better than you. Man City are better than you. Newcastle are better than you. Villa are better than you. Arsenal are better than you. Chelsea are better than you. Like, just set like reasonable expectations. And again, I'm not taking the mick. Like, just set reasonable expectations. Say, look, if we sign a goalkeeper, we sign a defender, and it's Amarim's and if Amarim doesn't get fired, we can perhaps get into the top half and perhaps challenge for a European place. But you set yourself up for delusion every single year, as you've been doing for the last 10 years, where you say, we're going to get Jadon Sancho, we're going to win the league. No, you're not. We're going to get Anthony, we're going to win the league. No, you're not. We're going to get Onana, we're going to win the league. No, you're not. We're buying Hoyland, he's just like Haaland. He isn't. Like, have reasonable expectations. Onana kept 9 clean sheets. Alisson kept 10. Alisson was also injured for a significant portion of the season, and you can't keep clean sheets if you're kind of injured. Up and Job. Is that a good last month song? A very good song, that is. Says, United fans are so deluded. I don't understand it. Like, you're right, but it's like, why is their expectation always we'll buy a few strikers and suddenly it will fix everything? It won't fix everything. It won't. It might make certain things better, but you don't buy 3 players and then jump up 16 positions. It just doesn't happen. Mazen says, well done for your second trophy in 30 years. Well done for no trophy in 20 years. I mean, you're reaching that same point very, 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 very swiftly. Are you not worried that you might reach 30 years with nothing and then 40 years with nothing? I'd be a bit concerned. They aren't the same. We need to improve your attack. You do need to improve your attack, but the point that I'm making is that you also need to improve your defense, and you also need to get rid of that useless keeper. Like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. Everyone laughs at your goalkeeper. He is horrendous. How many matches do you want that guy to screw up? Like, I'm literally trying to help you, saying that should be the priority. Sort out the goalkeeper, get rid of that clown Onana, get a proper defender, and get some proper midfielders. You literally have a granddad in Casemiro in midfield, and you're paying him 350 grand a week. That should be the priority. Ship Casemiro out, hopefully to Saudi, get a decent chunk in, and buy some kind of young midfielders. There's no point having strikers if your midfielders are like 40 years old and you can't get the ball to them. Like, it's a very simple concept, but for some reason, Man United fans don't understand it. Liverpool fans understand it. Chelsea fans understand it. Arsenal fans understand it. Even Tottenham fans understand it. Like, I don't understand. Like, people are literally trying to help you, but it's just like... It's like people are trying to give you the medicine and you're just refusing to have the medicine. Lucas says, United fans must not watch their own games. The results were bad, but the performances were worse. Yeah, you're right. I watched the games because I wanted a laugh. And trust me, some of the performances were awful. Half of their problem is Amorim plays this weird-ass formation where he thinks he can just have two midfielders. That might work in Portugal, but that doesn't work in England. So with Man United's formation, there's like a giant hole in the bloody middle, and I'm like, you need to sort that out. Casemiro can't do the job of 1.5 players because you don't have the legs for it anymore. Martin says, we are hardly a bottom half team. Dude, you finished like 16th. That's not even bottom half. That's relegation form. Again, I'm trying to help you. You finished, was it like 16th or something? Like, bottom half is like 11th, 12th. Like, if you were 11th, 12th, I'd be like, okay, you were borderline. You're 16th? What was it, 16th, 17th, something like that? Like, that is terrible. That is awful. And again, people are trying to help you, but you're just deluding yourself to saying everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's not. It's not. It's really not fine for you. And this is purely on the pitch stuff. Don't get me started off the pitch stuff. Like literally like firing people who have worked there for 30 years. For what? For what? To save a bit of money? To save a bit of money? You do stuff like that, it completely poisons everything that's kind of happening in the club. Players will look at that. Even your players will say, even Amorim was saying, you know what your owners are doing is crazy. I'm going to pay to take the staff to the final. And even Bruno Fernandes said, you know what? I'm going to pay out of my own pocket because this is not right. Like, what's happening off the pitch is somehow even worse than what's happening on the pitch. Harry says, do you actually think we'll get Wirtz over the line? Don't want another Caicedo experience. I think we will. I think there's been a delay to a certain degree because of the Nations League. And I think Wirtz is probably playing again tomorrow. But I think after that, I think next week you should see things kind of proceed swiftly. Isaac says, Martin, you finished outside the top 7 2 seasons in a row. How does that work? Exactly. Dude, again, you're saying, I agree we aren't quite as good as Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, but we aren't far behind the others. You are. You're significantly far behind the others. That's something that Newcastle would say. That's something that Aston Villa would say. Saying, we're not far behind. You couldn't be much further behind, because if you were slightly more behind, you'd be in the league below. Like, what are you talking about? Are you like trolling? You must be trolling. You can't actually believe this. That if you're acting like you were 7th or 8th, you know, you finished 16th or some nonsense like that. You are significantly further behind. And like I feel really bad for you that you don't see it, because people are trying to help you and say, look, sort your goalkeeper out, sort your midfield out first. Because here's the other side of the coin. If you sort out the strikers are like the cherry on top of the cake, right? But your flour and your dough is still raw. So you're going to have these expensive strikers standing up there at the top with nobody to supply them. And you know what's going to happen? After a year, their attitude is going to sink down as well. Their attitude is going to sink like every player that you've bought. After a year, they're going to be moping around the field and saying, oh, why did I come here? You almost need to build from the bottom up. So like you sort out the flour of the cake first, then you sort out the sugar, then you put the icing on top. Man United are just starting with the icing on top because that's the sexy thing to do, but the same thing is going to happen again. The exact same thing is going to happen again. Yeah, Onana can't keep a clean anything. Exactly. Isaac understands what I mean. Like, they're significantly far behind Chelsea, significantly far behind Nottingham Forest, significantly far behind all kind of those teams. Villa. Dude, you're saying Onana had the Golden Glove in Europe the season we signed him. So what? So what? That metric has no relevance anymore. That metric has no relevance anymore, because when you put him in your team, he's trash. That's like us saying Nunes scored a bazillion goals when we bought him. Let's keep him. That's not how it works. These metrics are merely an indicator of how the player will perform when you get them in. But then when you get them in, if they're rubbish, how they did 5 years ago in a different team has very little importance. Like, you've seen the evidence. He's trash. And again, people are trying to help. United are poster boys, said Khalid. Man United need Park Ji-sun 2.0. Yeah, like a cultured signing who's perhaps kind of not too expensive, but is kind of technically like quite sound, kind of that sort of thing. United barbecue cancelled. Yeah, it's just kind of extremely kind of disrespectful to kind of the staff, if you know what I mean. Like, I think kind of any successful club, kind of any successful organization, you treat the people at the bottom with the same respect that you treat the people at the top. But these owners that they have, they're treating the guys at the bottom like absolute rubbish. And when you do that, all that does is that creates negativity, because Fernandez is looking at that and he's saying, I don't feel right about that. I will pay for them out of my own pocket. Ruben Amorim has just come over from Portugal. He's like, you know what? I don't feel right about that. I'll pay for that out of my own pocket. So this is why they don't just have problems on the pitch. They have problems off the pitch as well. Hello, CR. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Martin says, it's not as simple as that. There are things like financial fair play. I hear you. I agree with you. But that's why kind of I was saying, perhaps the priority shouldn't be to sign multiple strikers. Perhaps get one striker and one goalkeeper and one midfielder, for example. So the kind of argument I was making is they're going for all the sexy kind of striker signings, but what about Onana? He's still got a face like a smacked ass. He's not sexy at all. What about Casemiro? He's still too slow. He's still too expensive. I think they need to sort out kind of the other areas. I do think things will improve. In terms of, I actually like quite like Amorim as a person. I think he comes across very well. I think he's quite likable. I think he's good tactically. He's good with young players. I just like to see him sort out the goalkeeper, because I think that guy's useless. Genuinely thinks he's useless. Johnny says, where is Sonny? Not around at the moment, but might be around later. J29841 says, are you Mo Salah? I am. Just don't ask me to take my shirt off, because I'm not quite as ripped as him. But I am. You've caught me out. What can I say? Just don't tell anyone. And then we'll be cool.